sa deveron se kanang tribo na kituyok ning bagong hahagit diri sa deveron se
Di pa sigarbo sa mga probinsya ug mga syudad.
Diri sa deveron se ang edukasyon diri di kalidad.
Ang gunta, ang bagong pag-isip. Kung maniining bagong hagin. Aduna na'y learning delivery modalities. Namintunay ug nahimunggan nga makamot ang kadaugan.
Diri sa deveron se kanang tribo na kituyok ning bagong hahagit diri sa deveron se
Di pa sigarbo sa mga probinsya ug mga syudad.
diri sa deveron se ang edukasyon diri di kalidad. Diri sa deveron se kanang tribo na kituyok ning bagong hahagit diri sa deveron se
Di pa sigarbo sa mga probinsya ug mga syudad.
diri sa deveron se ang edukasyon diri di kalidad.
Basta 11, kanunay abante.
Delivering quality education. Expanding access to learning. The official TV-based instruction of Tagum City. This is Tagum City Division's DepEd TV. Tara na!
Hello world! This segment is for senior high school who are studying computer programming, .NET Technology, and C3. But of course, everyone who is willing and interested to learn is welcome to join us. Today, we will talk about one of the most interesting property in CSS3, which is the CSS animation. What is CSS animation? What are the properties of CSS animation? What is CSS Keyframe? How can we implement complex animation by using CSS Keyframe? Are you ready now to answer these questions? If yes, then make sure that you have your pen and paper with you so you can write all the things that you will learn from this episode. I am teacher Aline Joy Calcaben from Tagum National Trade School, teaching computer programming .NET Technology NC3, where you can learn programming in fun and easy way. Welcome to .NET Technology. Before we start our proper discussion, let us have a prayer.
Good morning, Lord. Thank you for a new day. Thank you that your compassion is renewed every morning. Great is your faithfulness and your steadfast love, O Lord. I don't know what all is going to happen today and how much I'll get done, but you do. So I give this day to you. Fill me with your Holy Spirit, Father. Energize me for your work, because you know how tired these bones are. Awaken me to the wonder of your salvation, and quicken my spirit to the reality of your work in my life. Lord, my mind is filled with creative ideas, but they're all jumbled. Holy Spirit, come and hover over my mind like you hovered over the waters at creation, and speak order out of the chaos. Help me to cease striving and to trust that you will give me all I need today to do the work you've given me to do. You will be faithful to complete the good work you've started. And as I step out into my day, I declare your sovereignty over every area of my life. I entrust myself to you and ask that you use me however you see fit. This day is yours. My body is yours. My mind is yours. Everything I am is yours. May you be pleased with me today. Amen.
So, animation is the process of designing, drawing, making layouts, and preparation of the photographic sequences which are integrated in the multimedia and gaming products. Animation involves the exploitation and management of still images to generate the illusion of movement. Now, get ready your pen and paper and write the correct letter of the correct answer.
Number 1. Which property can help you if you want to start your animation after few seconds? I repeat, which property can help you if you want to start your animation after few seconds? Letter A. By using animation delay property with 3 seconds value. Letter B. By using animation property with 3 seconds value. Letter C. By using delay property with 3 seconds value. And letter D. None of the above. And the correct answer is letter A. By using animation delay property with 3 seconds. Number 2. Which value for animation direction property will you use for the animation to play backwards first and then forwards? I repeat, which value for animation direction property will you use for the animation to play backwards first and then forwards? A. Normal. B. Alternate. C. Alternate reverse. D. Reverse. And the correct answer is letter C. Alternate reverse. Number 3. Which of the following property specifies the time required for a transition effect to complete? I repeat, Which of the following property specifies the time required for a transition effect to complete? Letter A, transition timing function. Letter B, transition duration. Letter C, timing transition. And letter D, transition time. And the correct answer is letter B, transition duration. Number 4. Which one is the correct property for giving time duration of the animation? I repeat, which one is the correct property for giving time duration of the animation? Letter A, by using animation time property with 4 seconds value. Letter B, by using animation duration property with 4 seconds value. Letter C, by using duration property with 4 seconds value. Letter D, none of the above. And the correct answer is letter B, by using animation duration with 4 seconds value. Number 5, last item. Which of the following is not a valid value for transition timing function property? I repeat, which of the following is not a valid value for transition timing function property? A is, B is in out, C cubic Bezier method, D static. And the correct answer is letter D, static.
How many of you got perfect score? Very good! It seems that you are studying the module in advance. To those who did not got the perfect score, it's okay since we will discuss it one by one. At the end of this episode, you are expected to define CSS animation and CSS keyframes, differentiate the different properties of CSS animation, and implement complex animation by using CSS keyframes. Are you guys now ready? CSS animation allows an element to transition from one style to another gradually. You can modify as many CSS properties as you'd like, as much as you'd like. Style defining the CSS animation and a collection of keyframes indicating the start and end states of the animation style, as well as the potential intermediate waypoints, make up an animation. To use CSS animation, you must first define the animation's keyframes. Keyframes define the styles that an element would have at different points in time. CSS animations have 3 major advantages over conventional script-driven animation techniques. First, they are simple to use for simple animations, and you don't even need to know JavaScript to make them. Second, even under moderate device load, the animation runs smoothly. In JavaScript, simple animations frequently perform poorly. To keep the output as smooth as possible, the rendering engine may use frame skipping and other techniques. And lastly, it allows the browser to monitor the animation series. The CSS syntax of the CSS animation is property animation, and the values are name, duration, timing function, delay, iteration count, direction, fill mode, and play state. To create a CSS animation series, we use the animation property or its sub-properties to style the element we want to animate. This allows you to customize the pacing, length, and other aspects of the animation series. This does not affect the animation's appearance, which is regulated by the keyframes at rule as defined in defining the animation series. The animation name value specifies the name of the keyframe you want to bind to the selector. The animation duration value specifies how many seconds or milliseconds an animation takes to complete. Animation timing function specifies the speed curve of the animation. Animation delay specifies the delay before the animation will start. Animation iteration count specifies how many times an animation should be played. The animation direction value specifies whether or not the animation should play in reverse on alternate cycles. Animation fill mode specifies what values are applied by the animation outside the time it is executing. And lastly, animation play state. It specifies whether the animation is running or paused. In defining the animation sequence using keyframes, we use a percentage to indicate the time during the animation sequence at which they take place. 0% indicates the first moment of the animation sequence, while 100% indicates the final state of the animation. Because these two times are so important, they have special aliases, from and to. Both are optional. If from or 0% or to or 100% is not specified, the browser starts or finishes the animation using the computed values of all attributes. This time, we will have a very simple demonstration on how these animation properties work. Okay, so as you can see, we have a color mint box at the center of the screen, and then it has a letter A content inside of it. So if we set our duration into 1 second and timing function into linear, the box flips clockwise. Okay, so did you notice that there are 5 values for the animation timing function? So again, linear specifies an animation with the same speed from start to end, and then the is, it specifies an animation with a slow start and then fast, and then it ends slowly. And also the is the default value of the animation timing function. So for your reference, to notice the slow start, then fast, and then slow end. So that is the is. And then the is in value, it specifies an animation with a slow start, and then it will change into fast until the end. So as you can see, it's slow and then became fast. Okay. And then the is out value, it specifies the animation with a slow end. So it is the opposite of is in. So the is out, it starts with a fast and it will end slowly. So let us try it. Okay, fast and then it will become slow. And lastly, the is in out, it specifies an animation with a slow start and it will also end slowly. So slow, then fast, then slow. That's it. Then animation delay. So again, it will
delay the animation on how many seconds did you set on it. And in this example, so we will set it into 1 second. Okay? It delays 1 second and then it starts flipping. Then next is the animation iteration count. So the animation iteration count, again, it will play the animation and how many times did you set. So for example, we will set it into 2. So we'll delay for 1 second and then it will flip for once and then flip for the second one. Okay. Next is the animation direction. So as you can see, we have a normal value. The normal value is the default value of the animation direction, and the normal value is played as normal or forwards. Okay. Then we have another value, reverse. It is played in reverse direction. So if the normal value, we can see that the card flips clockwise. So if we set the direction in reverse, so the card will flip counterclockwise. So let's try it. Okay, it rotates or flip into counterclockwise. And if we try the alternate value, so in alternate value, the animation is played forwards first and then backwards. Okay, so it will play clockwise first and then counterclockwise. Okay, so let us try it. So delay for 1 second and then clockwise rotate and then counterclockwise rotate. Okay, and lastly, the alternate reverse. So what is this? So it is the opposite of the alternate. So the animation is played backwards first and then forwards. So as we can see, if we will set this alternate reverse value in the animation direction, so our card will rotate or flip counterclockwise first and then clockwise. So counterclockwise first and then clockwise. And lastly, the animation fill mode. So what is the animation fill mode? So the value none is the default value. So it means that the animation will not apply any styles to the element before and after it is executing. So if we set it for the value forwards, so the element will retain the style values that is set by the last keyframe. So it depends on the animation direction and animation iteration count. So if we set it for forward, so what will happen? So it rotates counterclockwise first and then clockwise. Okay. Then next, the value backwards. So the element will get the style values that is set by the first keyframe. It depends on the animation direction and retain this during the animation delay period. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so in both value, the animation will follow the rules for both forwards and backwards, and then it's extending the animation properties in both directions. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you understand the simple demonstration of the animation properties.
Before we start, you can follow the demonstration in 3 different ways. First, if you have a laptop or desktop computer, you can simply use the notepad or any pre-installed text editor found inside your laptop. Just type text editor in the search bar and double-click the notepad or any text editor you found in the searched items. Second, if you have an Android phone, just open your Google Play Store, then search for any text editor or code editor and simply install that best match with the Android version of your phone. Lastly, if you do not have any gadgets at your home, you can use the paper coding technique. Just simply write the codes on your paper and submit to me your paper with your codes, and I will send back to you your paper with the printed output. Are you guys now ready? Let's start!
Okay, now I will be demonstrating some of the codes using my laptop computer. So first, let us open our text editor and save it as in the desktop. We save it as week 4_practice.html. Then once it is saved, let us try to open the file on our browser. So here it is, open with, and then Google Chrome. After this, let's type doctype HTML and then the HTML open and closing tag. Then next is the head and also the body. So inside the body tag, let us type our div element. Okay? Div tag. And then inside the head, let us insert our style tag, and then let's put our div. So inside the div, let us set the div element, its width and height to 100 px and also its height 100 px. Next, let us set its background color as red, and then let us try the animation name example, and the animation duration for 4 seconds, 4s. That's it. And let's declare our @keyframe, and then beside the keyframe @rule will be the animation name. So earlier we set the animation name as example, so let us type it example here. Then next, so let us try from. So let us try to set in 4 seconds, the background color red will turn into color blue. So let us try from background color red and then to background color blue. So that's it. And then let us save it. After saving the file, let us reload or open again the week4_practice.html in our browser. So let us try to reload the page. So that's it. You see, again, I will reload the page, and after clicking the reload, the 4 seconds will start immediately. So let us try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. And after that, it will come back to its original color, what we set in the div element in the CSS. So if we remove this, so save it again, and then click reload. Okay, so after executing the animation, so since we didn't set the background color at the div part of the CSS, so the div element in our browser will not be visible. Okay, so let's try to set it again. Set it as color yellow. And then reload the page. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it turns into yellow. So again, I will reload again the page. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then after 4, it will go back to its original color, which is the yellow. Now, we will try to change the timing inside the keyframe. So instead we are using from N2, we will be using the percentage. Okay, so how we can use that? So first, let us try to put 0% and then set the background color into red. And then at 50%, we will set it as color green. And at 100%, we will set it as color blue. Okay, so what will happen? So if we save it and then reload the page, so let us see what will happen to the div element. Okay, so it changes 3 times, okay? From red to green up to blue. Okay. And the next is, let us include 25%. So at 25%, we will set the background color into orange. And also at 75%, we will set the background color into violet. Save and then reload the file on the browser. Okay, that's it. So red, orange, green, violet, and blue. So what if we will include animation delay so that it won't start right after we reload the page? So animation delay 2 seconds. So if we reload the browser, so we will wait for 2 seconds before the animation will start. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Okay? Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. What if we would like to set a negative value inside the animation delay property? So the negative value of the animation delay is also allowed. And if we are using the negative values, the animation will start as if it it had already been playing for n seconds. So, for example, we will try to use -2 seconds. So, it means that before we reload the page, it had been playing for 2 seconds already. Okay? So, save it and then reload the page on the browser. Okay, so as you can see, it already started in color green or in 50%. So we cannot see the red and orange of it. Okay, again, I will click the reload page. Okay, so that's it. That will happen to if we are going to use a negative values inside the animation delay. Okay, now, so we will trying to include the animation timing function property into our code. So let us try to change first the animation inside the keyframe. So let us go back to the from and to timing. So let us try from let us try the left. So 0px and then to left again to 500px. This animation means that the div element will move from left into up to right. Okay, and then we will include at the div CSS properties a position, and then the value will be relative. Okay, so that's it. And then here, so since there are 5 basic values for the animation timing function, which are the is, linear, is in, is out, is in, out. So we will try to create 5 different div elements so that we can see the differences of their functions. Okay, so first we will try to create 5 div elements. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then inside it, we will try to include 5 animation timing function. Okay, so first, okay, so first, we will try to include here is, and then here will be linear, then here will be is in, here will be is out, and lastly the is in, out. Okay, so the ID is the same inside the div 1, and then the next one will be div 2. Next will be div 3. Div 4, and lastly div 5. Again, we will remove the negative part of the negative value of the animation delay so that we can clearly see the differences of the functions of the 5 values of the animation timing function. So save again and then reload the page on the browser. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Have you seen the differences of it? Okay, again, I will reload the page. Okay, that's it. Okay, so what if we want to iterate the animation for how many times? So we will include inside the div property of the CSS an animation iteration count. So we can set it into 5 times or more, or how many times that we want. Okay, so for example 5, so we will save it and then reload. 1, so this is the first iteration. 2, the second iteration. 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so it repeats 5 times. Okay, so what if we want it to perform infinitely? So we will write infinite word. Okay, so save and then reload the page. So the animation will continuously and infinitely perform it as long as we didn't close the page. Okay, what if we want to use the animation property only? So instead of using it using the other sub-properties one by one. So first is we will type animation, and then the animation name, which is the example, and then next is the animation duration, which is the 4S. Next is the animation timing function, and then the animation delay, 2S. So the animation timing function will be linear. Okay, next is delay, 2S, 2 seconds, and then the iteration count will be infinite. And lastly, the animation direction, which is alternate. That's it. So we will remove this 5, and then we will delete this. Okay, then save and then reload the page. So that's it. It will continuously and alternately perform the animation as long as we didn't close the page.
In our life, keyframes can just be the same as our whole life as a human. From the moment we are born, which is the starting point, each single day corresponds to a single frame. We move and live every day until we reach our end point or death that technically ends our animation or life. In biology, keyframes are also relatable to women's menstrual cycle. Each woman experiences menstrual period every month. Inside, women's reproductive organs undergo biological changes, and it happens repeatedly, almost as if there's a set of rules or instructions being followed. From day 1 to day 30, each day represents a frame where a specific stage of menstrual cycle is achieved. Dance is the movement of the body in a rhythmic way, usually to music and within a given space, for the purpose of expressing an idea or emotion, releasing energy, or simply taking delight in the movement itself. It applies the concept of animation since from the time the dancer starts dancing, which is the starting point, each single step corresponds to a single frame. They continuously perform the steps according to the music until they reach their endpoint that technically ends the animation or dance. Earth experiences two different motions, rotation and revolution. Earth spins on its axis and it takes 1 day to do so. In 1 day, Earth makes 1 rotation on its axis. Earth also travels on an elliptical orbit around the Sun, and it takes 1 year to make a complete trip. In 1 year, Earth makes 1 revolution around the Sun. If you have been exposed to someone with COVID-19 or begin to experience symptoms of the disease, you may be asked to self-quarantine or self-isolate. It applies the concept of animation since from the time the patient has developed some initial symptoms, which is the starting point. The most common initial symptoms of the coronavirus disease 2019, or also known as COVID-19, are cough, fever, fatigue, headache, myalgias, and diarrhea. Severe illness usually begins approximately 1 week after the onset of the symptoms. Each single days correspond to a single frame until they reach their endpoint, which is the full recovery of the patient that technically ends our animation or the self-isolation.
This time, we will check how well you understand today's lesson. Get ready again your pen and paper and write the missing codes.
Number 1. Specify that the animation of the div element should have a 1 second delay before starting. I repeat, specify that the animation of the div element should have a 1 second delay before starting. And the correct answer is adding animation delay property with 1 second value. Number 2. Add a 2 seconds animation for the div element which changes the color from red to blue and call the animation Remember. I repeat, add a 2 second animation for the div element which changes the color from red to blue and call the animation Remember. And the correct answer is last item, item number 3. Add the following 5 steps to the animation Remember. First, in 0%, set the background color to color red, left position to 0 pixel, and top position to 0 pixel. Second, in 25%, set the background color to color blue, left position to 0 pixel, top position to 200 pixel. Third, in 50%, set the background color to color green, left position to 200 pixel, and top position to 200 pixel. Fourth, in 75%, set the background color to color yellow, left position to 200 pixel, and top position to 0 pixel. And last, in 100%, set the background color to color red, left position to 0 pixel, and top position to 0 pixel. I repeat, add the following 5 steps to the animation, remember. First, in 0%, set the background color to color red, left position to 0 pixel, and top position to 0 pixel. Second, in 25%, set the background color to color blue, left position to 0 pixel, top position to 200 pixel. Third, in 50%, set the background color to color green, left position to 200 pixel, and top position to 200 pixel. Fourth, in 75%, set the background color to color yellow, left position to 200 pixel, and top position to 0 pixel. And last, in 100%, set the background color to color red, left position to 0 pixel, and top position to 0 pixel. And the correct answer is
Do you think you got a perfect score? Awesome! You are truly listening to our discussion. To those who did not got the perfect score, it's okay since you can rewatch this episode anytime and as much as you want. For your assignment, open your module on page 106 and answer the Let Us Try. Choose the letter of the correct answer and write your answer on the answer sheet distributed to you last week. Read the following detailed explanation at the Let Us Study on page 107 to 119. Choose the letter of the correct answer and write your answer on the answer sheet for Let Us Practice on page 120. For Let Us Practice More on page 121, analyze the codes carefully and fill in the missing codes. On page 122 to 123, for Let Us Remember, analyze the codes carefully and fill in the missing codes. Write your answer on your answer sheet. For Let Us Assess on page 124, create a page named love17.html. On your page, write the code sequence that outputs below. Write your final code on your answer sheet. On page 125 for Let Us Enhance, create a page named animation.html. On your page, write the code sequence that outputs below. Write your final code on your answer sheet. And lastly, for Let Us Reflect on page 126, read the following essay questions and write your answer on your answer sheet. Your final score on each essay questions will be assessed based on the attached rubrics. If you didn't receive a printed answer sheet, just download the answer sheet I sent on our Messenger group chat. For online students, just open our virtual classroom in Google Classroom and check out on the posted assignments under the week 4 topic. You can open or download the attached PDF files on each assignment and submit a photo or the file of your answers in the submission bin. If you have any questions or need some clarifications, just do not hesitate to raise your concern in our Messenger group chat or DM me directly. Before we end this episode, I would like to share something that I hope will encourage you in this new learning setup.
If you trust in yourself, believe in your dreams, and follow your star, You will still get beaten by people who spent their time working hard and learning things and were not so lazy.
Congratulations! You have reached the end of the fourth episode of the fourth quarter of Computer Programming .NET Technology NC3. On our next topic, we will talk about on how to implement real-time communications by using WebSockets and web worker process. Do not forget to come back next week for another episode because learning programming with Teacher Aline is fun! Bye!
Delivering quality education. Expanding access to learning. The official TV-based instruction of Tagum City. This is Tagum City Division's Dep Ed TV. Tara na!
DepEd Onse. DepEd Onse. Sugatunta ang bagong adlaw. Iduyog ang bagong panlantaw. Alang sa kaugma unsa kabatan-unan ang nahanaw na paglaom nalikon pagbanhaw.
Watuntang bagong sistema. Ayun taang sa matning pandemya. Lipunin pag-ayo ang edukasyon. Kaya't nahilong nga pangandoy balikon paghugyaw. Diri sa DepEd Onse, kanang tribo nakituyok ning bagong hangin. Diri sa DepEd Onse,
Ipasigar mo sa mga probinsya ug mga syudad.
diri sa DepEd Onse, ang edukasyon diri may kalidad.
11, kanunay abante.